Welcome back to the second part of this tutorial series, where we are making this picnic scene. In the last video, we covered the making of the picnic table, so if you want to follow the whole process, go back and take a look at that. In this tutorial, we are going to cover the making of the stylized grass you can see in the scene. I will be posting more tutorials in this series soon, so stay tuned and check out the playlist in this series linked in the description. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do is just add a plane. So delete the default cube and put in a plane, and we're going to scale it up by 10, so S10. Now, what we are going to do is just move this into a new collection called grass. Okay, so I'm just going to hide this plane for now, and we are going to make our grass. And to do this, we're just going to add a curve, and I'm going to use a path. You can use a Bezier if you want. I'm sticking with a path. I like them better for this kind of thing. Okay, so now go into top view, tab into edit mode. And the first thing I'm going to do is just hit G and X and just bring this up so that the origin is kind of closest to this end vertex here. And that's going to be really helpful for when we're emitting the grass from the plane, because it will emit from that point. So the next thing I'm going to do is go into our curve settings here and open up geometry and turn up the bevel depth. Something like that. Tab into edit mode again. Let's select this vertex here and let's hit Alt S, and then we can hit 0, and that will change like kind of the radius of that point there. And we can hit Alt S here as well and change that. I'm actually going to turn up the depth a small bit. Something like that. Looks great. Now let's just duplicate this. I'm going to make 4 separate ones. So just duplicate one, and then we can hit Shift R to repeat that duplication. Great. Now let's just select all of these, tab into edit mode, and we can start making some changes. Just first starting on the y-axis. You can really just do whatever you want with it. Just make it look kind of natural. It's kind of hard to make it look unnatural, but I'm just hitting G and Y a bunch of times and just making sure that they don't look too similar to each other, because then there's no point in having 4 of them. Okay, I'm thinking these are pretty good. Now let's go and do the same thing on the Z-axis, just kind of messing around with how it looks. You want to make sure not to make this vertex here change too much, because then the base of the grass will look a little bit funny. Okay, we're almost done. And I'm going to say that those pieces of grass are looking pretty nice. Okay, so the next step is just move these into a new collection. I'm going to call this blades, the grass blades. And then I'm going to move this collection inside the grass collection. And we can also unhide the plane. And let's uncheck the blades collection. Go to particle settings, add a new particle system, change it from emitter to hair. And under the render tab, we're going to change render as to render as collection. And let's select the collection. And we're going to select our blades collection. And you can see that we have our grass on here now. And you can see we have a problem that they're rotated the wrong way. And if we just check object rotation, it works. You can also see that we might want to scale these up a little bit, so you can just turn this up. I'm going to turn this up to 0.9. It looks pretty good. And the other thing we might want is to add more pieces. And one way you can just turn up this number here, but a better way for this kind of thing is less intensive on your computer, is to open up this children tab and switch this to interpolated, and you can see right away we have a ton. But this is going to really slow down our computer, and it's a little bit too much for my liking. So I'm going to try 3, see what that looks like. And I like that look. It's a little bit sparse, which is nice. So I'm just going to change the render amount to 3. And then we can just change the display amount to 0, so it's faster for our computer. Okay, the other thing we might want to check is pick random, and this will just randomize the grass a little bit more. And that is all. I hope you learned some things about creating this style of graph. If you're interested by the first 2 parts, stick around and subscribe. I will be posting the other parts soon. Thanks for watching.